What's up, Dice Crew? Now look, I want to be speaking on this famous Richard situation, right? Now, from what I gather, famous Richard was booked, and what I mean by booked is like somebody requested his services or whatnot, and he was supposed to show up somewhere to do something. You know what I mean? And in the mix of that, he allegedly was set up. He was shot and whatnot, and following that, Richard made a post talking about this page set me up, right? Highlighting, a certain type of page, right? I guess, some type of Instagram page that was behind um booking him, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever he was supposed to do, right? Famous Richard, kind of like a viral dude, whatever. And I do, he is funny, right? At times he is entertainment. I ain't gonna take that away from him. But this the thing, right? It's a couple lessons we gotta learn from this, and we gotta speak on, right? Like, number one, you gotta really do your due diligence, and you gotta be prepared, and you gotta carry yourself in a certain way when you start having motion. When a person be booking you to do anything, you just don't know who can be behind that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just true. So I feel like we all gotta learn behind that, right? Whether you gotta move with the right type of individuals, whether you gotta get the right type of information before you engage with these individuals, you gotta figure it out. That just come with it. But then on the other hand too, I want to highlight, famous Richard saying these things about these people set him up, and he highlighting this page. Now, on the business stance, I can understand it, right? You got somebody who's, so to speak, scamming people, in the mix of business. You know what I mean? Scamming people, and then, trying to cause harm to them. That could have been, a person just trying to cause harm, or it could be a person who's trying to take something that you got, right? So to me, I can understand a person like putting that memo out to, fellow people, and they line the business so they don't fall victim to the same situation. But I feel like maybe you could have highlighted the situation without you necessarily pinpointing the exact Instagram account that set you up. I don't think that was very streetwise. And I only even go down this path is because famous Richard, he always on some gang type of time. You know what I'm saying? He always whoop whoop and this, that, on gang, and talking about this, that, and the third. So to me, I'm like, you got to be mindful out here, because you can control uh these characters, right? Like, you can control yourself when you might be acting like you in character mode or whatever the case may be. But the moment some real stuff take place, you gonna pretty much show who you truly are. You know what I mean? And I feel like, because I saw the cross a couple headlines and stuff when it come to people covering this topic, and they all famous Richard snitching, famous Richard told, and it's just like, that's what he did do. Cause say if the police do a due diligence enough, they got a cyber team and all these things. So if they look into that and find out who's behind these accounts, and you get these people booked up, then guess what, famous Richard? You done, you the one who pretty much gave the first piece of evidence to investigate this case, which came to a conclusion of people getting arrested, convicted, or whatever it may be. You got to be attached to that forever. Now, I don't know famous Richard personally, so I don't know if he really run around in the streets and he trying to be on the street type of time or the gang type of time or whatever it may be. So maybe he could be, maybe it don't matter to him how he's viewed. Who knows? But he got to know when he engaged in certain type of conversations or in certain situations pertaining to other street individuals, this is going to always be a topic that people are going to bring up and throw in his face. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. This video wasn't to try to bash famous Richard. Shout out to him. However, we definitely got to keep it a Benji, and so we can learn from certain situations, and that's just that. So y'all keep it a Benji for me in these comments. Let me know what y'all think about the whole situation. Let me know if y'all got some knowledge about some similar stories and stuff like that. And just, I ain't saying y'all gotta go detail for detail and break everything down and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, and go down the path of like incriminating anybody or whatever. But if y'all familiar with situations like this where people try to book people for certain things and that turn out to be like a setup or something like that, y'all can jump in the comments and just be like, man, this happens all the time. Y'all can get in the comments and say, I heard I'm familiar with a story like that before, whatever it may be, you know what I mean, without putting out too many details. But to me, that is one of the dangers of being a public figure, or a person who I don't know if you would say like sell your services, if that's a good way to word it. So, if you selling your services, like a person can book you for whatever your services may be, but you just don't know what might be behind that booking. You know what I mean? So that's just that. But overall, it's a good thing that he was able to pull through with that situation, and it didn't totally turn out bad. You know what I mean? At least that was the case. He's still here. He's still breathing. He got a new opportunity to move different or make different choices, depends on what it may be for the future. So hopefully y'all was able to learn from that situation, this video, or however we go. Y'all run them likes up for me. Subscribe for me. Share the video. Tune in with me on Instagram at Keep It a Benji. It's the same handle as the YouTube. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.